Morning out there, SP fans. Sean Paul Pickleball, broadcasting to you here in North Royalton, Ohio, at the North Royalton YMCA Pickleball Center, where I am the pickleball coordinator, and this is what the facility looks like for those of you who have not seen it and that are new to my page. So, I'm actually making this video because today I want to discuss pickleball paddles. So I'm going to try to make this brief. But yesterday, I teach pickleball. So yesterday, not even just yesterday, but a lot of times people will ask me, Sean Paul, what kind of paddle should I get? And so let's get this straight. I try to think of myself as that honest mechanic. Is that honest mechanic, that people like to go to because, I'm not going to rip you off, you know what I mean? I mean, I don't sell pickleball paddles, but I've been in pickleball for quite some time, and all these companies are always sending me paddles and asking me to try them out, and, I'll tell them what I think, and long story short, I don't want to tell somebody to get a paddle just because companies send me a paddle. That's not fair. That's not good business. I mean, I appreciate the companies sending me the paddles, and if they're good, I'll use them. And of course, I will let the people know, man, I like this paddle. But for you newer players out there who are wondering what type of paddle you should get, it's honestly whatever feels good in your hand and what you can afford. Again, this is bringing me to another point. I have two paddles right here. I'm getting ready to. Now I'm going to use this paddle as a demonstration because it's pretty much, I hate to say it because ESPN is on it, but it's one of those paddles where you go into a facility and if you don't have a paddle, they have these for you to use. It's cheap. It's cheap, and yes, this is like a beginner paddle. Like when you start playing pickleball and you're just trying to get the feel of the game, this is what you're going to wind up using. In our facility, we have these. So people who I teach, it says I don't have a paddle, here you go. Trust me, this is better than what I started with. I started with a wooden paddle. So I wish this was around when I first started. But anyway, so this is just to get you going. Okay, so next I want to bring up, JoJo Lemon. I'm using this as a better a demonstration for a better paddle because, it is a good paddle and I have it in my TikTok shop. And plus, it's inexpensive. So listen to me. So I'm going to try to make this brief. Okay, I'm a pretty good pool shooter. Now listen, getting to a point. I'm a pretty good pool shooter. So when I go into a bar, I'll be using a house stick, and and I'll see guys coming with those $1,000 pool sticks and those gloves, and they look the part. And when they get on the table, I'll beat them up with using a regular house stick. The point I'm trying to get at is if you buy a $300 paddle, which this is not one, but if you buy a $300 paddle, that doesn't mean you're going to come in here and beat me in a pickleball game. You got to have some skill. Just like pool, the stick, just like the paddle, it makes a little bit of difference. But you have to have skill to go along with that paddle. Again, I'm bringing this one up because JoJo Melon sent me this paddle, and it's in my. I keep it in my pickleball bag, and this, it's got good grit on it, and it's got good touch. And again, somebody left a comment on one of my posts about this paddle. Said, "Is it good for beginners?" Yes, it's good for beginners. And again, one of the best is because it's inexpensive. It's inexpensive, and it's a good paddle. So think about that when especially the newer players out there who are thinking about what type of paddle to get them. Not saying you have to get one of these, but when you are thinking about, man, you see, those $300 paddles are out there. How long have you been playing pickleball? Are you at the $300 paddle level? You know what I mean? Is it going to make that much of a difference in your game if you get a $300 paddle? Start with one of these. I don't know how many times I tell my beginners when they're asking me what kind of paddle should they get. My first paddle was other than a wooden one. I used the wooden one the first day I learned. And then the next day, I bought a $35 paddle off of Amazon that I played with for 2 years. 2 years. I won a tournament. I won my first tournament with this $35 paddle. So paddles make a little bit of difference, So when you're shopping for a paddle, think thrifty, and it's what feels good in your hand. So I like the Jojo Lemon, sorry. It's in my bag along with other paddles, but this is one of the ones that I use. So like I said, it's in my TikTok shop, and I think it's like $80. It's like $80, which is great. Definitely, if you're starting out pickleball and you want a better paddle than like a beginner paddle, yes. So anyway, I hope that was helpful with everybody thinking about buying pickleball paddles. Don't forget to check out my YouTube page. Just YouTube, Sean Paul Pickleball, and you'll be able to see some of my other videos and pictures from my other adventures. I hope everybody has a good day. Don't forget, just because you can win does not always mean that you should. Play accordingly. I'll see you on the courts.